Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Hulk, issue number 7. This is Hulk versus Thor, Banner of War. Kind of cool, right? The syllogism there. Part 3 of 5. Apparently I missed part 2. That was a Thor issue. Darn it, I hate when I do that. I don't think I'm missing much, though. There was some really good stuff in this comic book. And then there was the rest of it. Let's get talking about that after we give credit where credit's due. The writer is Donny Cates. The artist is Martin Coccolo. The color art is done by Matt Wilson and the letters by VC's Corey Petit. Gary Frank and Brad Anderson did the cover art. A couple of variant covers out there too. I'm glad there are more J. Scott Campbell covers out there because the guy's freaking amazing. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, this was almost refreshing. This was better. There was some story here. There was some internal conflict, as you'd expect there should be, right? Because character growth, character development, just something with character. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of people running around in this plot that nobody cares about because the characters are bland. No, the characters are not bland here. There's actually some things happening. I was really excited, when it stated, hey, the VR simulation is turned off now. So there's no more virtual reality. Everything that's happening is real. The Hulk is seeing things as they actually are. But he doesn't know that these things are real. He still thinks that it's VR. Now, I didn't know that Hulk was cognizant of the fact that he was in VR. So that's interesting. I think that what they're trying to indicate was that he was taught to not hold back because of the VR. It's really weird that they would do that. So Hulk knew he was in VR. That's why he didn't hold back fighting completely imaginary things that he knew was imaginary. See, when you think it out, when you break it down to its logical facts and you come to the logical conclusion, it no make no sense. But I like the idea. I like the concept of it. It could have been packaged a whole hell of a lot better. I mean, it could have accidentally been packaged better, but whatever. I like the idea that they broke it down a little bit and they indicated he's an actual threat. He's not going to hold back. Now, I wish that we would have seen him not hold back. I mean, I guess the banner bomb thing, the 20,000 megaton or 20,000 times the normal gamma bomb thing, whatever. I thought that was kind of cool. What I was actually hoping to see was him just shredding things, just tearing things apart. Unfortunately, all he had was a giant celestial mecha thing. Look, I'm going to tell you that the thing that I loved the most about this comic book was the art. Coccolo and Wilson killed it in this. This actually made me feel a lot like when Ario Anindito was not known very well through the rest of the world, but Marvel had just picked him up for a couple of, yeah, we need you to fill in for this issue. Could you fill in for this issue too? How about these 2 issues over here, right? And every so often you'd see him. And you guys know that I've been promoting this guy's work a lot. I was literally just talking about him today in my jiu-jitsu class to a guy who works on Paw Patrol. Yeah, I know. There's going to be a spin-off on Paw Patrol. You remember Rubble, the yellow one? Stuff's happening pretty soon. But anyway, I was just talking to him about it, about Ario, and boom, there was like a lot there, This is the kind of work that I love to see, and I'm enamored by it, right? I'm fascinated by how good the art is in here. It was so good that it literally made me forget that Tony Stark was basically just trying to be Tranzor Z, right? Mazinger Z. Yeah, like, is there that much metal on Earth? Is there? I mean, he's excavating areas in Africa, deforesting acreage upon acreage, miles of acreage, just to be able to get at some of those precious metals buried in the ground, so that he can make his stupid little projects. Like, is he recycling this stuff? So silly. Almost trying to look a little bit like Red Ronin. If anybody remembers him from the original Marvel Godzilla comic books, right? Issue number 7, was it? Maybe it was 9 anyway, something like that. It was fun. It was a fun visualization, but Tony wasn't acting like Tony. Thor wasn't acting like Thor. They were both stopping and saying things and stuttering a little bit. And your stuff is really out of whack. And it's really frustrating to see that Cates is still doing stuff like that. Does anybody remember the Intelligentsia stuff? I forget what the Fall of the Hulks or something like that. I forget what it was. It was something with the Hulks. And it was cool, the Intelligentsia, all led by the leader, absorbing the intelligence of some of the smartest people in the world, like Reed Richards and Dr. Doom. Stuff that was used later on because the storyline was so amazing that people in other comic books and decades later, but years and years later, started writing about stuff like this. I think even Hickman had it where it's like, oh yeah, man, Dr. Doom, after the Intelligentsia thing, he still didn't have all of his intelligence back, so we had to try and get it back. And, it was because the Intelligentsia, like, that was really cool. Dude, when Hickman and people like that love your stuff, I'm saying, I don't know who's going to be cherry picking from this stuff, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. The only part about the entire Intelligentsia storyline was the part where there were multiple other Hulks, right? There was Spider-Man Hulk, there was Captain America Hulk, I believe, which, who cares? Who cares about a super soldier Hulk? Ben Grimm became a Hulk, I believe, and I think somebody else did also. So here they have Thor become a Hulk, right? It's like, so what? So what? I think they even made a spin-off of each of those characters, a one-shot. It's literally like Marvel just didn't get the idea, the gist of what was happening here. Here's a great storyline, so it's like they told them, do this so that we can have a couple of spin-offs, make a couple extra bucks, 4 extra comic books, And I don't think they sold very well, but people were pretty enamored by the Spider-Hulk, as if it's the first time we've ever seen Spider-Hulk before. And I get it on the one of the toy websites that I go to on Facebook, a buying and selling group. It was only like 3 weeks ago maximum that a Spider-Hulk sold for $300. It was Canadian money, so it's like $4.25 American. That joke never gets old. Seriously, about $250 American tops, maybe $230. That should be good, except I think it was really just more of a bad buy and a bad sell, because you can get that figure on eBay for a whole lot less than $230 American. I'm saying, like, you get in the double digits. Yeah, I don't know. It's a shame when Donnie he's got so much great stuff there, and he does really cheap. Like, look, it's not Cocolo who's making the storyline here. It's Cates. There's a great storyline here. And he's telling the artist what he wants, and the artist is killing it every time. He's doing such a great job, including Matthew Wilson, putting in great colors. But while Cates is doing these amazing storylines, he's really not paying a lot of attention to his dialogue. He's rehashing so much stuff. Look, I missed issue 2. Tell me something. Did they put the hammer on the Hulk in that issue also? Because it happened in this issue. It also, I distinctly remembered it happening in issue 0, right? 2 issues ago, the original issue of this, the Hulk vs. Thor thing, whatever it was. My review's up there, I'll link it. They did it there also, and Hulk stood up through it and got ripped in half. I'm like, he's got no spinal column. I know some people in the comments were saying, who said the Hulk needs a spinal column to stand? Well, I guess you got me there. I don't know how to retort on such a very strange comment. I don't know. But hey, okay, sure. Anyway, the physics of the Hulk are obviously different. Yeah, the physics of the Hulk, when people don't want to do a good job, right, will typically go all over the place. We've seen worse things in Immortal Hulk. I haven't. I've seen twisty, horrible things, like monsters and Demogorgon type creatures, right? I saw parodies on humanity and Cthulhian stuff of nightmares in front of you. And here I just see somebody made Hulk stand up, and he only had like that much of each of his love handles. His love handles kept him up. It was perfectly stylish. And just, you know what? Like what you want to like. I don't care. I'm not here to tell you guys what to like and what to not like. It's a shame to see the exact same trope being used again and again. But it is what it is. There's so much imagination here, but the dialogue was... Donnie was playing fast and loose with the dialogue, and I don't think it was purposeful. I really just think he just didn't want to spend as much time with it. That's the thing that kills me about it. You can look at this comic book, and you could take away the dialogue, and you could take away some of the silly things that happen in general, right? You can just look at the idea, okay, here's the script, here's my pitch for this issue, here's some of the things that, I want to happen, bang. And when you stop there and you just look at that and you look at the incredible art, you sit there and you say, I would like to buy this comic book because I think it'll be good. 1 copy, please. But then when you get home and you actually explore it, it's like the dialogue is watery. It's like a soup sandwich, right? Something we used to say in the military. Take a piece of bread, put soup on it, and then another piece of bread. Now, can you eat this as a sandwich, or are you going to need a fork or a spoon, right? It's a soup sandwich. If you can't eat it as a sandwich, it's just a big mess. Typically a hot mess. But it is what it is. This was a soup sandwich. The writing was terrible on this. And some of the scenes with the bad writing just don't work. Look, we've seen Hulk and many other characters do some incredibly doofy, goofy stuff before, but the dialogue was typically solid. So it's like, I can completely look past this. Hercules telling a little kid, hey, you don't know who I am, I'm Hercules. What do you mean Thor's stronger than me? The one time that we had a fight? Oh yeah, we went back at it, blah, 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 and all these crazy things until you slowly start to realize this stuff didn't really happen. And it's funny. It is great when you understand what the writer is trying to do. And it hit me so hard, I ended in a place we gods had long since forgotten. New Jersey. Stuff like that, like bonking Thor on the head with his own hammer in his hand. Things like that, it's like they're so stupid, but when they're in context and the dialogue is sharp, you laugh your ass off at it. And you can't help but to laugh at this because it's just so funny. I can't remember but it was somewhere around the creation of Beta Ray Bill. Maybe it was the issue before the creation of Beta Ray Bill or after the 3rd issue. I don't recall, but look for it. It's Thor going after Hercules, and Hercules just mushing his face and holding him back. And it is a really well done comic book. And it was not done by Walter Simonson. I forget who actually did it. It's great when you have sharp dialogue that can at least keep you in the story, even though something silly may happen. There was something that was done in this comic book. They said, oh, yeah, I thought the blue lightning meanie girl was removed, and now something else is going on with your hammer. So I remember them indicating that there was a storm inside of Thor's hammer in Jason Aaron's run. At some point, the storm got removed. I don't know who removed it. Was that in the Thor comic books that Donny Cates is writing now? I don't know. Somehow that storm thing, and apparently it was evil, I don't know, got taken out. And I don't know where to go and find that issue because there was not a single text box in here. There was not a single asterisk indicating where and goodbye. So I am actually interested in reading this. I would, purchase the comic book. I would buy the comic book at Gotham Central right down here, right? I would buy the comic book just so I know what's going on. But when they don't tell me what the comic book is, and this is on the editors. Maybe it's a little bit on Donnie too, because he could do it if he's the one who did it. I mean, he obviously read the book, right? Why couldn't he just scribble it in? Hey, I got this from here. You know, daring Donnie. Right? Just something. But no, we get nothing. So that's one more comic book that Marvel isn't selling. I say these things all the time. I don't expect Marvel to, per se, listen. But Marvel has demonstrated that they listen. It is what it is. Anyway, guys, love and peace. This was a decent enough comic book. I'm telling you, Donnie's so much better than this. He is. The plot was lined up almost perfect. He just couldn't get the dialogue good to actually make us believe. But the art was here, and I hope this team doesn't leave. It's one of the few things actually keeping me coming back to read this comic book once in a while, even if I don't always do a review on it. I'll talk to you guys later. Like the video and watch an ad. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.